Hello and welcome to your post Comic Con episode of NOLA Time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the one man army, the face of NOLA Time, fresh back from Comic Con, Mr. Joel Young.
It's an honor and privilege, my friend. Thank you. Glad to be back. I'm happy to be back. Of course, I gotta say I'm missing it. It's like a good exhaustion, you know. Like you have so much fun. I told you beforehand, it's like adult Disneyland. You know, like you're tired, but you're having so
Is
much
that
fun
Vegas?
every day. No, it's Comic Con.
Okay.
Although it's been rumored, Comic Con could move to Vegas at some point, but that's a conversation for another podcast.
Oh, okay.
2024 is when the license expires for San Diego, so we'll see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just, dude, I got nothing. It's like I purposefully have nothing on my plate, man. And
Yeah.
I really want to hear the stories. I want to hear from you. Before we start, huge thank you to everyone who has joined on YouTube. Definitely, we do really appreciate it. This is 100% self-funded.
Yeah.
Joel paid for Comic-Con with his own money. He bought equipment. I'm here streaming, doing stuff, whatever we do, right? And this all comes out of our pockets. So, just want to throw it out there, so the coverage that you got from Joel was 100% independent, no bias, nothing, this is all us. So, the guys that really subscribed on YouTube, everyone who followed, a huge thank you. I've been moderating the comments while Joel's out. So that was basically my job. But you guys rock. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
Joel,
absolutely. Thank you all so much. I mean, just that simple act of hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button, just pressing play and watching our stuff, it means the world to us. So, because we said we do this purely out of our own heart. So, just seeing if there's a reaction of any kind is just super awesome. So, thank you. We got lots to talk about, man.
Yeah, man.
Mean, there's Comic-Con, as you all know, if you've been following us for the last week. I was out there, got in on technically Tuesday morning. Took one of those crazy red-eye flights and took another red-eye coming back home. So when I tell you tired, it was something. But, you do what you got to do, bachelor on a budget. But, getting out there, we were able to do our podcast on Tuesday. That was really awesome. That was the pre-convention rundown.
Yeah.
Wednesday being preview night. Was really the first chance to really, it's back, it's happening. It's not really, we don't count it as day one. Day one really is on Thursday. Even on your badge, it doesn't say day one, it says preview night. But it's still, that's, you're at Comic-Con. That's it. Like it's the preview night is when everything starts. So that happened on Wednesday, and preview night's only 3 hours, Obed, that you get access to the show floor.
Okay.
I got there at the convention center around 1. The show floor didn't open till 6, so hung out for about 5 hours to get in there. This is how Comic-Con is, guys. Like, if you guys have never been to this thing, like, this isn't like no offense, I love the small cons. Like, I love that stuff. I love MegaCon. I love all these local ones. Like, I love that stuff. San Diego Comic-Con is a whole nother animal. When you talk about patience, you have to be willing to wait 3-4 hours just to get into anything. That's just how it is. So yeah, unless you're super pressed, which I'm not hitting on those people. We'd love to get there someday. With your guys' help, maybe we will, and we'll bring more coverage. We're gonna work just as hard as we can then too. But get into the show for those 3 hours. Wow. This year was very different compared to 2019, which was the last time that this has happened 3 years ago. Usually there would be some other events kind of happening, not much because of it being preview night. The idea is to get people on the show floor. But this year, and this kind of goes for the full con, like outside of general operating hours, not really much was happening. There was a few offsite things going on, movie screenings, a few tournaments, and that kind of cosplay contests. Those kind of things that happen.
I gotta hear your experience with Street Fighter 6. Like, you gotta tell me
know.
you gotta tell me
footage,
what's going.
Man.
Okay, you gotta tell me what's going on, man. I haven't seen the footage. Dude, I don't know where you put it, man.
I haven't seen the footage. Like, I actually did, that's one of the things that didn't make the cut yet.
Okay.
I have so much to upload, and I know that it's technically now it's a week from day one, and I apologize. I gotta upload a lot of stuff, man. But yeah, so preview night was actually the opportunity I got to do Street Fighter. I said, let me just first day, because I was hoping to do it on Thursday.
Okay.
But that's a whole nother conversation. Opportunity presented itself. I'm jumping in this line.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
getting in there. So was able to jump in. Dude, I used the fight. They asked me offered fight stick or controller. I used the fight stick, bro.
Okay.
So I was sloppy as heck, dude, because I've not used the fight stick in forever. So,
oh, man.
So the guy that's with me, he used Rue, and I use Luke, I believe.
Luke, okay.
Name. Yep. So so I used him. I did not win. I only won one out of the two matches. Was rusty. Lost the first one, right? Second one came back strong. The last one, he figured me out. So, so that was. Don't let you do it one try, and then you'd have to get right back around and get in line.
Okay.
To do it again. I would have
so
loved
you
that.
could do like a
my vengeance again and came back and beat this bro again. Although you won respectfully, he was a nice guy about it. Still a little salty. But yeah, I mean, hey, look, I won one out of them. I haven't used a fight stick. If I probably would have used a console, like yeah. If I would use, I probably would have been okay. But I decided to go big or go home, man. I had the full experience.
you went all out on that one,
all out, yeah. I definitely think though you're gonna be very, very happy when you play it open. I think you're gonna have a great time. I asked one of the workers to film me while I was doing it. So she recorded the first match where I lost terribly, and then she didn't get me when I won.
Still footage, doesn't matter.
Still footage. So I will definitely make sure I share and post that. Stay tuned for that, everybody. So that was pretty fun. Opit, did you see on our YouTube Shorts or TikTok? Did you see the Bowser that I posted? The massive dude.
My daughter loved it.
That was right behind. Nice. You would have, ate that thing up. That was right behind where Capcom was, where their booth was. Massive Bowser.
Yeah, because I saw the preview video that had come out, I think, on Monday. There's a preview video, and I showed my daughter. It's like, oh, look, this is like 15 feet or whatever. Dude. It's gigantic, and he moves. Dude. Yeah, and then I saw the video. I was like, hey, look, Joe posted the video because I saw you posted it, and I showed her. Yeah. Yeah, nice. And the Mario Legos, the big ones that you got, those were pretty cool too.
Yeah, the huge Mario and Luigi, and their eyes were moving. They put the screen in them. Look so good. But the Bowser was cool because he's moving and he's laughing, and all this. Like it was just I can't describe it unless you're physically there. It was just just awesome. But I told the worker, it's like the one thing that would have just made me just faint over this thing would have been as if he would have breathed fire or smoke would have came. If that would have happened, bro.
Yeah.
But obviously, that might have melted the Legos.
Was at one point the dragon that's down at Disney Springs used to have was it smoke or mist or whatever? I don't remember.
The one that was the Sleeping Beauty one or whatever.
The one that's in the lake.
The green one.
The green one on the lake. Yeah, the sea serpent. Yeah.
Yeah, he did used to blow some smoke.
I think so. Yeah, I don't remember blow smoke.
Or was it mist? Was it water? I don't know.
Yeah, something
like that. You're right. Yeah. You're right. But yeah, I was like, if they would have done something like that about that, I would have been. But loved that. That was pretty cool. I've got some hilarious video of me actually, because I got to wait in line to get. They shot a video. It's like me pretending to run while Bowser's chasing us. Some lady really started running, dude, and actually fell off the stand.
Oh no!
Yeah, she was so into it, bro. She fell. That's guys, be careful. Bowser's not really gonna get you guys. It's okay. He was big and scary, but it was cool. Yeah, so show four was really well done. Marvel had an awesome booth. I posted the video about what they had out there. Basically, primarily they just had the costumes on set there. Moon Knight, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Thor, you know, and I think that was the main costume they had on set there. Not really a reveal. I'm used to them usually using that as an opportunity to show us like a costume for
Show
something
something new.
upcoming or something. They didn't really do that this year. Instead, they kind of took more of a NFT metaverse approach, and they had their
Mm.
partnership with Vive right next to it. And that's the video you guys might have seen that I posted on Instagram with the Black Panther. Like you could like interact with it, and he would actually like move around with your hand or whatever. Super cool. I thought, and then the cool thing is if you held the iPad up like over, they had like a Thor and a Captain America. They would actually like physically draw them in. You can pop them out. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think that part of it was cool, but I was a little surprised that they didn't do something a little bit newer there. But on the show floor, I think the biggest surprise to me, and this is going to be a theme when we start talking about from the news, is the DC Comics. So, Obed, this is the first time I think ever. I mean, since I've been there, and I know it was a big deal for a lot of people being there. DC did not have a booth at all at
Okay.
Comic Con. That's crazy, dude. They had no booth. They only had like two panels, I think, and it was just Spotlight and Jim Lee, and then Jim Lee and Friends. Both that I wanted to get to, and neither one I got to make it to. Unfortunately, although I'm sure you heard about what happened at the Jim Lee panel, that was pretty intense. Allegedly, Snyder Cut fans came into his panel and decided to repeatedly ask him questions about why is Zack Snyder not involved with any of the DC's doing right now? Is there
Oh,
plans to bring him back?
okay.
Even though he's on the publishing side, he's not
Yeah,
even
yeah. He's not
on
even.
the
He's not even on the movie side
right.
of things.
He's
Yeah.
not even on the movie side.
Yeah.
And I guess he gave some kind of response. You can look this up. I was not physically in the room, so I want to be clear about this. But I guess he gave some kind of response along the lines of like, this is why I missed like the pandemic. Like we were home, we enjoyed like the Snyder Cut. That was wonderful, and there's no plans on anything else going forward. He said something like that. People took that really hard. People weren't happy. We know this for a while.
And there was a
that's
report.
unfortunate.
Yeah, there was. I think there was like an IGN report on. It was like, oh, there's like no plans for Snyderverse.
Right.
Yeah, there's like
Right.
there's
So here-
some outlets ran with it. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, right? The guy's not
Right.
even involved with that side of things. But
Exactly.
do you want to let's go ahead and inject the breaking news for today, right? Now that we're talking about this.
Yeah, that crosses
Yeah,
into,
yeah,
sure,
yeah. So like it was just
Perfect
announced about an hour ago. It was announced that Ben Affleck will be reprising his role as Batman in Aquaman 2 or whatever it's called. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a huge deal.
yeah.
That's a huge deal, and I guess at this point we might as well just go ahead and start talk because I hate to say it, we don't have as much to talk about DC as I would have liked. I thought we were gonna have more to say, and that was one of the big letdowns of Comic Con. They're used to having the entire back left part of the exhibit floor. Not only did they have their comics or publishing side, but they also were known for having a huge Warner Brothers signing booth where you would literally have the stars walk down on the floor, and it was a huge area. That's where you get those pictures where you see like Cavill like signing and Ben Affleck signing with the fans. Like they built that into the actual show floor. Like Marvel does not do that. That's not a usual thing like any of the other ones do. That was something that DC did. But there was a report beforehand, and I mentioned this, I think, in my pre-convention discussion about how basically they used to spend around $25 million just on Comic-Con alone. And since the new Discovery merger happened, the CEO, he's been trying to like create about $1 billion, I think, in liquid capital. Like that's been his goal, like as fast as he can before they start like greenlighting new things. I think just to kind of keep the business safe. Some might say that the big R word is looming over a lot of businesses right now. So people are trying to get liquid. But yeah, like, that was probably one of the cutbacks. It was like, I think that was the wrong choice. I mean, it's a comic book convention, and one of the largest comic book publishers decided not to even just have a table.
They're the
I think
number
that was
two
a, I think that was
publisher.
a number two publisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no way. It's like going to E3 and
And
like
one can argue, right?
PlayStation
That's
there
like
and
I don't.
Xbox says we're not going to do. We're just going to have a
Yeah,
panel. Like
and
that
like,
doesn't.
and we're saying number two publisher because of Marvel Studios, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't followed numbers in a very long time, so I don't even know where they stand right now. So
Yeah, exactly. Like I think if it wasn't for the movies, like DC would still be rock and rolling. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was a mistake, a problem there's part. And then let's just go ahead and talk about Saturday with them. Keep this together. So on Saturday, and Obed, I know you're keeping time, so let me know when you need to take a break.
yeah, no,
But
you're good.
cool. So it's Saturday, man. Like they're the very first Hall H panel of the day. They were the first ones to open up Saturday, and Marvel was the last ones to close things out. So, starting off the day with a big boom, the panel was titled Warner Brothers Theatrical. It wasn't titled Shazam, it wasn't titled Black Adam, it wasn't split as two different things. It was one event. And typically, from the one I was at 2018, usually the theatrical panel would be just that. It would be multiple properties that would be brought in. You can look at videos online, hard to describe. It's super awesome. They used to pay millions of dollars to intentionally have a screen brought in just for their panels that would go fully around the entire sides of the actual building in the room. So like you would have to like literally like turn to take in some of the footage and things of going around. In 2018, for an example, like because it was a theatrical panel, you had like Harry Potter, you had the Lego movie brought in, and you had like Godzilla vs Kong. I remember like Godzilla, sorry, I remember like Godzilla like flew across the screens or whatever. Like the Lego was marching around. Like it was a really interactive presentation,
Yeah,
mixed with Pix mobs or whatever. You could tell. I say all that to say, you could tell that they cut back because not only did they not have obviously their booths we talked about just before, but then with this they only had two movies. And I've been saying for the longest time, I could not imagine them take a full hour-long presentation to just talk about two movies. Two movies that look very good, two movies that I am sold on, two movies that I think they did their job when they did their panel. I think they did a really good job. I'm not coming against it because if that's all I would have gotten, I would have been happy with that. But when you see what the other guys did, and we'll get into that in a second, you have two movies, and in the first 4 minutes, these people reveal the entire Phase 5, and in 1 hour, these people only talked about two movies. That's a problem. There's no way around it because that's not the only properties they have. We know they have other things, and other things that work. So that they're very, very bizarre. But yeah, let's talk about what they did do while they were there. They did have the starting off with Shazam. Tiffany Smith was hosting that panel. She did a great job, I think. Pretty cool. Zachary Levi comes in, the screen split open. He walks right through, electricity flashing all around us. And he starts, saying, well, let's go ahead and show you guys some footage of Shazam. So we got an extended look at the movie Shazam. It had a lot of footage you already have seen in the trailer that's public to everyone, but it had some extra action sequences mixed into it, and it also had like an extended sequence where like the characters are talking. They're like, "Where'd you all meet at Comic-Con?" So that's literally like part of the dialogue that's happening in the scene. So it was more fanfare is what I'll say. Nothing too hype personally, but it was cool. It was still cool what we saw.
cool. I think the trailer was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the first movie. It was surprisingly good, and
yes,
I think they're running away with the same sort of charm and humor that made the first movie enjoyable. So
yeah, I'm sold on it. I agree. Look good. So really, aside from that, so they brought the main cast. They did not have Rachel Zegler and Helen Mirren were not there. Didn't get to make it, but they did have them video in for the panel. Just kind of talking about how much they're enjoying being in the roles and how great the time was, and didn't really give more information aside from, hey, I'm playing a goddess and I'm playing this, but there was not really a lot. And this is a theme for a lot of the panels on Hall H for the day, not just DC, but did not really give much information. It was kind of frustrating because you expected to get some flavor. The most we got was really just that footage for Shazam that was extra outside of what everyone else has seen. That I if you when you guys see it, be like, cool that they showed the people in the room, but nothing that's like, oh my goodness, what, you couldn't have released this to the average public. Personally, they could have put that out. Maybe, someone filmed it. I didn't. I abide by the rules, guys. I wasn't gonna get kicked out of Comic-Con. I've witnessed people nearly get kicked out. You may have seen the video. You may have seen the video online if people were watching the news of the guy on Facebook that got jumped at Comic-Con. That video went around.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, dude decided he was going to try to get into the convention without a ticket, and security bodied the dude. He did not make it very far. Don't be that guy, guys. Yeah.
That's good.
Don't be that guy, guys. That's not going to work out well. And the guy's banned from the place, and of course banned from the convention as a whole. So
rip.
That's a him problem. But back to DC. So that ends, and we're like, okay, cool. And so let's on top. Like, all right, let's talk about the next chapter in DC. Lights black out, dude, and all of a sudden some music starts playing. We're like, what? And then smoke fills the room. And then out of nowhere, we hear Dr. Fate's voice. You can be a hero. You can be the savior of these people. Like, you can whatever. Like, you are a god or whatever. And then out of nowhere, The Rock is levitating up in full-on Black Adam costume, dude.
Yeah.
With the electricity going behind him with the screen, dude. And then they gave us these necklaces. I should have had this on me. I posted it on our recap video. And the pics that were Pix mobs, and he's using his magic, and then he throws it at the audience, and we're all glowing. What a crazy Rock entrance! That was something that had people buzzing for a long time. You could care less about the movie Black Adam, but that moment was sick, dude. First time I've ever seen The Rock in person, and what a way to see him first for that first eyes in full on Black Adam glory. That was amazing. So yeah, he's up there on the stage, and he says, Hall H, I've warned you, the DC universe will never be the same. Blackout comes back down, Tiffany Smith comes back out, brings out the main cast, and then Dwayne joins them, come back in a regular outfit. He's like, I heard Black Adam was just out here a moment ago. So that
playing
was
cool.
Playing it cool, separating the two. So that's a lot of fun. And so, after that, Dwayne just really took a long time explaining how, working with the director from Jungle Cruise, how like they've had a good relationship together after that movie, and why he wanted to bring him in for this movie, and saying how like it's always been a passion of his to really join the DC universe. So like it's a passion project. Everybody says they love their stuff. Cool. The actress that was playing like Cyclone, like she was literally like crying on stage. I was like, whoa, like, just playing the role. So I love to see that though. Like I love to see emotion. Like we talk about like these people where they're like James Chan, these people like, dude, like when people like get emotional about like the stuff that they love, man. That doesn't bother
that's
me.
Good. That's good.
Like you're passionate, you're happy to be here. I would love to see more of that in the industry. So it was cool. And so one of the things is they did do a Q&A for both panels, because both movies. Because like I said, a full hour. So they took 30 minutes for each, which is exactly what I was hoping they would not do. With the panel, with the Q&A for Shazam, guy basically went up and asked, there was no chance I was going to make it there and film at the same time. But, this guy asked like, who would win between a fight, Shazam and Black Adam? Really dumb questions, not going to lie to you. Not as good questions as Joel Young would have asked, but just basically said like, who would win a fight? He's like, well, of course Shazam's gonna win, whatever, blah blah. Then the guy asked, the same guy was up there on the stage asked The Rock about who would win between a fight, Black Adam, Superman, and Dwayne turned to him and said, like don't get me like turned up. Like I could talk about this all day. And then he said, I guess it just depends on who's playing Superman.
Ooh.
And the audience had a mixed reaction.
Ooh.
People started booing a little bit and got salty.
Yeah.
Because
they expected the expectation before that panel, right, was that Cavill was going to show up, and
that was the rumors. The rumors that Henry Cavill's back. Henry Cavill's back. He's here. He's gonna do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, if they bring Superman out on stage, okay, like this is it,
man.
And they didn't do it. That's the last question that's asked. They black out. They showed us an extended footage, which is basically the sequence of when Black Adam, wakes for the first time in the future, by these like archaeologists, and there's a bunch of different militia around him. Dude, it is brutal. It is going to be violent. Like, he just goes around destroying everybody's bike, rips a dude's entire arm off, like limb off, straight up, just throws it on the ground. It is going to be super intense. I think the way The Rock does his Black Adam is like, it's basically The Rock as Superman, like in his mind. He's not Black Adam. Like, he's like a Superman character, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
But yeah, so that was good. Then you get your Black Adam trailer that everyone's seen. But that was it. It just ends. And like, thank you everyone for being here, and that's it. And everyone's like, that's it?
No surprises,
nothing. Because we didn't get
other than Dwayne Johnson showing up as Shazam, right?
Which is cool for people who were physically there.
Yeah.
But everyone at home doesn't get anything that's like, oh my gosh, I miss. I think the other cool thing was, and I'm thankful for it because I'll definitely use it for the sake of the podcast. I'll definitely use it for coverage. But they gave us all the paper coming in, and it's a ticket to actually see the movie early in IMAX before everyone else. So I'll be able to see the movie Black Adam early before everyone else. That would be cool because I can use that to talk about it on the show. But, disappointing. I really thought there'd be at least one more thing, one more element. And that's it. I mean, I don't know if you have anything to say, Obed, about Shazam or Black Adam or DC. With, having Ben Affleck back, that's a good news. Why couldn't that have been news during the convention?
Yeah. Like I said, the trailer for Shazam was good. It's the sort of movie that I'm not going to go out of my way to watch, but I'll watch it and I think I'll have a good time. It plays with some meta stuff there. It was pretty enjoyable, and the footage that we got from Black Adam was also good. And I told you, like, back when that first trailer came out, we both felt very different about it, right? And I kind of liked it, and you were mixed on it.
Yeah.
But it's the footage that came out. I watched, and it looks good. It looks cleaner than the footage we got before. So it looks like there's that trailer might have been a little bit too early, but even with that, I still enjoyed it. So not much to say. It's just that it's strange, right? It's the whole Xbox thing. Wait for E3 and nothing happens at E3. And then, in comes PlayStation and blows everyone out of the water. Or Nintendo, here comes the Nintendo and just announces like 3 new Mario things and 2 Zeldas and another Splatoon, and everyone goes nuts. And, it's kind of like the same. I kind of get the same vibe, right? And I know, again, we're going back to gaming, right? I know Xbox is working on stuff. I know DC is working on stuff, right? It's just that when are we going to get it? And maybe it's not for us, the consumer, to get, right? But where is the roadmap? Where, like Marvel, right? Marvel gives us a really good roadmap, and they do their best to follow it to a T. And I think that's what DC needs. They need someone to steer into a roadmap, so the fans, to keep the fans engaged and excited. And I think that's the problem they're having. It's just that fan engagement has been pitiful.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other word for it.
Yeah.
And Marvel's trying. I'm getting tired, right? It's like I'm fatigued.
Yeah.
I still haven't even watched Miss Marvel. so like I'm getting a little fatigued on everything, honestly, right? So I'm just taking a break from watching stuff, and I'll resume in a couple weeks, but it's just too much. And I appreciate that Marvel's taking the time and giving us this extended stories in a series sort of thing. But at the same time, I really do enjoy it. It's like, oh, I spend 2 hours, watch the next part of the chapter, and then move on, right? I don't have to have this 6 hour commitment. And, it is a little much, right? On the Marvel side. On the DC side, it's just like, what the heck are you guys doing? It's like, we don't know. It's like, we want this, and you guys don't give it to us. What are you doing, right? It's like, we want Cavill back as Superman. I don't know which dimension. I don't know what stars aligned or whatever black hole someone went into and got this Affleck thing for Aquaman. Great, awesome, right?
Yeah,
that's actually great news. But where are you going? What's the end? What's the no pun intended? What's the end game, right?
Yeah,
it's like, where are you? Where are you going? Yeah. And it's just that the lack of information is just, it's really hard to get someone excited. So,
and when you look at, like, one of the things that stuck out to me with the trailer was, like, with the Shazam trailer, was in the very beginning, right? Like, Shazam's laying back and he's like talking to the therapist, and he's like, oh, there's already a guy in red and lightning on him, and they show clearly Ezra Miller's Flash, right? Oh, like, there's a guy that's like devilishly handsome, like, and you have Aquaman, right? And it's like, oh, and there's a guy that's like dark and brooding, and
Batman,
but it's not just Batman, it's Ben Affleck's
it's Ben Affleck's Batman, yeah.
Because that was the thing that got me. I was like, okay, well, if they're trying to go this Flash route, that movie, why not have Michael Keaton's Batman, or like the back of it, or something like that?
Where's Superman?
Right, where's Superman? We know that, right? But like the fact that they kept in the cut the Flash, Ezra Miller's Flash, they kept Ben Affleck's Batman, kind of shows me that Ben Affleck has got to be a part of, like, his Batman's got to still be a part of the world that they're wanting to foster further.
Yeah.
Because if you were trying to get away from that, you would phase that out the same way you're doing with Superman.
Yep.
So clearly he must have some kind of deal or something involved that they're okay to keep using that. And now showing up Aquaman, Obed, I think, comes out before Flash. So my theory is the reason why Ben Affleck's Batman is in that movie is he's going to connect it to the Flash movie. Like, it's going to be like a cameo that teases it on to the next movie.
And he's going to die in the Flash. He's going to die in the Flash.
Probably. Yeah. Like how Nick Fury kind of connects in one little scene and then it's bigger in the next thing. So
could be.
I could be wrong, but that's my theory, man.
Well, we'll see. I guess we'll wait and see on that one.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. So, let's take a break. We'll be back in a few.
Be right back.
And we're back. All right. I guess we can transition to Marvel.
Marvel, yeah, absolutely.
So before we go into the panels, let's talk Black Panther. Because we gotta talk Black Panther.
Okay.
Okay. I think that trailer was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I think that trailer was real freaking good, sir. Like I didn't know how I was gonna feel about this movie, right?
Sure.
But it's like whatever. There's still part of me that's still conflicted, right? But at the same time, this trailer was so good that, yeah, bro, it hit me hard.
Oh yeah.
Hard, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, so, I mean, like if you're from like, okay, so I gotta ask you, since you're the most interesting man in the world, what's the feedback on the song choice for that trailer?
Oh, emotional, dude.
Okay.
People love this rendition.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, dude. I got some Jamaican in the background, bro. So
yeah, that's why I'm asking. Yeah.
Bob Marley right away is like, okay.
It was good. I think it was very poetic that they used the Marley song.
Yeah.
For this trailer, because as with Chadwick Boseman, Bob Marley died of cancer at the height of his career, and there was something very poetic about it. Like when you put it together, right? It's like, oh, damn, dude.
Yeah, it's emotional.
It was so good. I think it's Killmonger, bro.
At the end?
I think it's Killmonger. I think, you know why? And it's the most obvious thing. It's not because the suit is black and gold. It's because of the shot, the way the camera is angled. That doesn't seem like an angle a female actress would probably okay in this day and age. Like, we could see that probably back in
digital.
Yeah. So I think it's Killmonger.
So I first of all, you said the trailer just there's nothing more to say than it is absolutely it fulfilled the assignment. It did what it needed to do.
Like we watched great trailers, right? Like the Batman trailer, that first one was incredible, right?
Oh my gosh.
But this trailer, like on an emotional level, it's just like
it hits
because you're mixing the emotions from the real world into the MCU, and it just hits different, right?
100%.
And the visuals, the CG way better than the first movie, right?
Yeah. We talk about VFX
talk about Namor, the most boring character in Marvel, because he's like a dude with a Speedo, and make him look cool.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, dude.
That's nuts. Dude. That's nuts. I really like the whole Mayan thing it had going. Oh, incredible.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, he's Mexican actor. I mean, they really went for it. But I gotta say, like,
take us in.
The trailer and just everything about it, they made it such an experience for us being there, like getting to that moment, because that's how they ended the show was with that. Everything else was so cool that was going on. They're like, oh, we talked about the past, we talked about the future. Now it's time to talk about forever. And then that's when they brought out these singers, dude, on the stage to do the main theme, bro. Walking down the halls. If I don't know if you've ever seen any of the videos, or anyone out there maybe have gone to see The Lion King on Broadway. It is a fantastic experience. I recommend anyone to watch Lion King on Broadway. Fantastic. But it felt like The Lion King on Broadway, dude, because you have the singers coming around, the dancers coming up, bro, at the same time, and it's like, bro, it didn't matter what background the people were that were around us, bro. We all were just rocking with it because it was just such a great time, and it was so beautiful because these guys weren't lip syncing or whatever. They were just straight up giving this beautiful performance in honor of Chadwick and it was really really cool. And so then the director Ryan Coogler comes up and he's honoring Chadwick and saying how like he remembers. He's like, we were here, 6 years ago with Chadwick. He was standing next to me. That was his first time ever seeing the trailer, was in Hall H with everybody else. And he just remembers Chadwick just like grabbing his shoulder. He said Chadwick had like really big hands with a tight grip and was just like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. He's like, my arm was my Kugler was like, my shoulder was hurting me after like Chadwick because he was just so passionate about it. But he's like, this is why we did this, like in honor of this guy, what he brought to it. And it was very very emotional for them. And when they show the trailer, when the cast, first of all, when they got the cast out before that, and the actor playing Namor, oh my goodness, dude, he keeps such a powerful message standing on the stage. He's like, listen, before we go off on anything, he's like, I have to say this. He says it's in Spanish, he said it in English. He was like, I'm from the hood, and if I didn't get if I didn't get a chance like this to be up here, I would still be in the hood. He's like, because Marvel is giving people like me chances, like to actually be a star in these things, like it's changing people's lives. People were giving a standing ovation applause for him, because he just was so passionate about playing Namor and having that chance and really just wanting to be the best he could be. Atuma's in this movie. All the sweaty nerds know how crazy Atuma is. Like the casuals have no idea what's coming. You got Namor and Atuma, bro. Like we're gonna be joking about. We're gonna reference this video, bro. Like, people are gonna don't know anything about what's coming, and then when they sit there and watch this movie and what happens in the next phase, those are going to be some big characters for the future of the MCU. This is not something you just have one and done and they disappear. This is a huge characters. The future of the Avengers and what's going
it's
on
Avengers
there.
stuff. Yeah.
I mean they're laying the groundwork. But with what we saw from the trailer, it basically confirmed the Reddit leak that happened. I mean, like when I say confirmed, like everything, which is why I'm confident enough to say Killmonger's in the movie. Because cover your ears, people, if you don't want to hear spoilers for the next 2 seconds. But the rumor was basically that when Shuri tries to become the Black Panther and take, the plants, or whatever, right? The mantle, right? To do it, usually they first see their ancestor, like how T'Challa saw, Baba, he saw him, right? In this situation, she thinks she's gonna see her brother, T'Challa, and instead she sees Killmonger in their heavenly place that at the end there. She's kind of showing that he had a good send off, and he's gonna be the one that mentors her and tells her how, like, with fighting and all this kind of stuff. And then she's gonna take it. So I think he's in the movie, but I don't know necessarily that scene. But in that scene, we know whoever it is, they're beating the snot out of Namor in that scene because Namor's laying all the way back,
he's like getting up. Yeah.
So that's going to be some fight. We also know the whole Riri Williams that with her, she created a device that's going to be seeking the vibranium in the ocean. So clearly that whole, cover your ears, kids, the whole Doctor Doom thing about he's the one that sent out this crew. And the entire sequence, I mean, this came out like weeks before this trailer, that they're in the ocean with a submarine, and then basically he comes through and just wrecks and kills all these people on this ship, Namor, because he's like, you're messing with my waters. And that Doctor Doom telling these people, like, everything that was put on that Reddit thing, dude, basically was gospel in the trailer. That T'Challa dies of like an illness. What's in the trailer? Like T'Challa dies. Every single thing, dude, was there. So I feel pretty confident about that leak being pretty accurate at this point. I'm not usually one to believe the rumors, but this is one I think I would take it to the bank. Now with Shuri and Baku, I think Baku basically becomes the king, and Shuri becomes the Black Panther. If that makes sense. Which was awesome when Winston Duke, when he came on stage for M'Baku, dude, everyone in the audience started doing the gorilla sounds of whenever he came up, and he started doing the chant, rah, whatever. It was a hilarious moment. If you watch the video on YouTube, you guys will know what I'm talking about. I just see just to be laughing, but it's cool to see the how passionate people are about this movie. I think it's over 170 million views I saw in 24 hours. So yeah, dude, Wakanda forever.
Yeah. Like
Um,
looking
let
forward to it for sure. So
let's talk animation before we talk about the other stuff. Animation was the Marvel Studios animation panel was on Friday. So with that panel, they took time to go through I Am Groot. We saw one episode of I Am Groot. Very short. It's gonna be very, very short, multiple episodes. It was like maybe like 7, 8 minutes, maybe the episode. Um, great design. Not much to say there. The director was and creator was saying that she kind of referenced Groot off of her own 3-year-old kid and how like as a kid, to try and explore and learn different stuff. So it made it really fun and cute. And I think when people see it, that episode that we did see, I mean, just stunning 3-dimensional graphics. I definitely get sad after hearing the news about the VFX stuff with work with Marvel. I hope no one lost any hair on that project because it just looks so insanely good.
yeah.
Then you also got a look at Marvel Zombies, which they ran through the list of who's zombies, who's on the main team. The gist of it is they're keeping it exactly canon from that when Marvel Zombies episode
from the okay.
that actually happened. So this is not a new separate thing; it's the same thing.
Oh, from the What If episode?
From the What If episode,
okay.
they're keeping the exact same storyline from there. Which, if I remember, the end of that wasn't it like zombie Thanos? I think at the end, right? That showed up at the very very end when it cut. I think it was a zombie Thanos. I think it was Thanos. Like I have to watch it again. But anyways, not one of my favorite episodes, but it was one of those okay episodes. But this series look cool because they're bringing a lot of the characters in that have been introduced in the MCU, like Kamala Khan. She's gonna be in this zombie show. Shang-Chi's gonna be in the show. So they are bringing in more of those live action characters into the Marvel Zombies thing. Didn't say if the voices will be from the same actors for that, so kind of have to wait and see with that one. Then you got, of course, What If, and What If season 2. We got the trailer. Oh, but I thought this trailer was on the internet for everybody. I was under the impression that everybody's seen this trailer, and then I was like, wait a second, I only saw that and didn't put us online. If I would have known, I would have probably paid better attention.
Is that on the NDA, Joel, or can you give us details?
It's not on the NDA. I can give you details, but like Odin is like crazy, dude. Like he's like a super warrior Odin, and you get the idea almost like what if he did not take in Loki? You have plenty of stuff that's going on with Spider-Man. Hela is gonna be in it. You get from Ragnarok. What other characters? I mean, I tell you, it was so much that they flashed in such a short amount of time. All I gotta say is, I mean, there's a lot of characters that are in this that are going to be surprising for a lot of people. There was a sequence that kind of looked like a Mad Max like episode where like all the Avengers are all like racing, like Tony Stark and they're racing these kind of like speed cars, and you've got what's his name? Jeff Goldblum's character in Ragnarok. He's in there. The Grandmaster. Yeah, a lot of Thor references in this one specifically.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I can't go into much detail except to say that it was a lot of flashes of a lot of different things. I think people will be pretty happy with it. Going into then, they actually showed us. They ended the panel showing us a full episode of What If. The first episode basically takes off exactly where the finale ended. Okay. What if Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper? Won't spoil the episode because people are going to be seeing that soon enough. But obviously, if you've watched season 1, you remember that it ended with her, finding the Hydra Stomper, where Steve's probably in there, but what actually happens and how they get together. It's basically an adventure between Captain Carter and Black Widow, hunting down the Hydra Stomper and of course, unmasking Steve. So I won't spoil anything more there. And then the last main thing that they closed. Well, excuse me, I'm skipping 2 things. Wow. There's a lot of news that they had in this time.
They had a ton of stuff.
They used an hour well. The Spider-Man freshman year, there was so many characters. Make sure to watch our YouTube video where it reveals the rundown there. But they've got a lot of characters coming in. Doc Ock, Rhino, Norman Osborn, All the characters in just the freshman year. Also, Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox, is back as Matthew Murdock in the animated form. Who's back in another form too. We'll talk about that in a second. But they have these characters back. My instinct, Obed, was they're going the route that like Clone Wars, where like the animation is canon to live action, like how you have to watch Clone Wars and like Bo-Katan, what happens there is canon now, like in The Mandalorian. I was thinking that was the direction they're going with Spider-Man freshman year. Well, a little more clarification. Allegedly, it's adjacent to the MCU timeline. So some of the events since what we've seen happen in the movies that kind of parallel over each other, showing on their variant version. But like we saw with What If, where characters like Captain Carter are first seen in animation and then becomes canon for a live action movie in Doctor Strange. Spoilers. That's kind of the thing I think that could be happening here. I think it's a testing ground, Obed. I think this is a Spider-Man testing ground. You can do a lot of stuff. It technically is, but it isn't. And I would not be surprised that a lot of the stuff you see in the show ends up being put into live action format.
Gotcha.
Funny fact about the Captain Carter thing, the creators referenced about, what happened in Multiverse of Madness. And they said that that's not their Captain Carter. Cool that they got to see it in live action, but their Captain Carter would have not gone down against Wanda.
And I
everyone
think,
applause and loves
I think
that,
it's confirmed that all those characters are not like the mainline characters like Reed Richards and Xavier.
Right.
Yeah. So
right.
Yep.
So then the last one here is X-Men 97. Yeah. All you need to know is everybody's back. Everybody's back, and surprise to us all, sitting in the actual audience is the two original showrunners were literally sitting right in front of us in the audience. I didn't recognize that they stood up, and everyone got to give them a big hand. But basically,
I'm conflicted about Magneto's design.
Yeah,
but I was right on the money though. I called it. It was like Magneto's gonna be in charge of the X-Men because that's the last episode when Xavier lives with Lilandra, goes to space, and Magneto stays in charge of the school. So
Magneto's taking over, so that's absolutely accurate. Not really much to say beyond that, except they did show us one little quick snippet of footage from it, where it's basically like Trask was being confronted by the X-Men, like, hey, we don't want to do this the hard way, and then he activates the Sentinels, and Beast just jumps inside of a Sentinel, rips out the chest piece, and actually starts controlling it like a puppet, actually fight with other stuff. So it was like a pretty cool scene. But that was the gist of it, maybe a minute and a half long, very very short. But it was cool that they brought us something to see.
That's cool.
I don't really have much more to say outside of that. But they did confirm also Spider-Man's sophomore year is already in production, even though they haven't finished freshman year.
Oh, wow.
So they're going with that show for a long one. They really believe in it. Yeah. Let's jump into live action, Obed. Let's talk about what happened. The big one here. And again, let me know what time when I run to on here.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
We can cut out. But
I'll throw a timer. I'll throw a technical out there.
Okay. Timeout flag challenge. But with Marvel Studios live action, their Saturday panel, they're the last ones of the day. Like I referenced before, in the very first 4 minutes, they start talking about phase 5. They talk about phase 4, then they just jump right into phase 5. Like not even wasted a second. Panel opened up with a really cool montage of multiple kind of highlight moments over the years of the different Marvel films, with Stan Lee voicing over a few of his famous lines that he's had throughout the years, stuff we've all heard before. And then on the screen it was saying like, it's been a long time. It's good to be back home. We've missed everyone, that kind of thing. And then at the end, when the lights come back on, Miss Minute shows up on the screen and she's, hello, Hall H. You've all survived the apocalypse. We're glad you're here. Everyone starts laughing right
That's
away.
good.
It's like, hey, we made it. And then she's like, welcome to the stage. Kevin Feige walks up. Everybody loves the people's champ. To me, Obed, Kevin Feige reminds me a lot of Bob Iger. Like his stage presence, how Iger had a really good stage presence when he would present stuff, and really understood how fans loved when he would come out and really say something new or whatever.
Yeah.
Feige reminds me a lot of him in that standpoint.
Okay. Steve Jobs maybe.
Steve Jobs,
back in the day, yeah.
Yep, same thing. So yeah, that's always awesome. Within the first few minutes, I had made the prediction. You guys probably saw my prediction video put before, where I said, "Oh, they're not gonna talk about Avengers. They're not gonna reveal the whole next phase. They'll just give us like two teases and everything else we already know is coming out. They're not gonna do that. They
They took you
actually
to
had
Golden
less
Corral,
time.
Joe.
It's they just went insane, dude. The guy that was with me next to me he started shaking me. He's like, dude, they're doing it. They're doing it. Because we just made a prediction beforehand. If you look at the camera,
That's
he's
great.
shaking because I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming. What an excellent surprise, welcome surprise to see them not hold back early. I said if they would have kept this thing going, I thought for a second they were gonna have Henry Cavill walk out on stage and say, "You're new Wolverine,"
I'm Wolverine.
as a big, screw you to DC. You guys didn't bring him out.
As a big middle claw.
Yeah, I mean, I would not have been surprised if that would have happened because they were just having their way in that room. And technically, this panel was shorter than the one that we had in 2019. The panel we had in 2019 was like almost 2 hours. This one was only supposed to be 1 hour. And I feel like they did more in this than they did in the last one, which is insane because they just took the time to just say, let's just run through the timeline. What's the timeline? I actually have the picture up right here still. Right?
Yeah, there you go.
Proof I was in the room.
He was in the room, but I think he's no longer with us. Let's give it. There. Wait, hold on, Joel. Are you back? You're back.
I'm back. Am I back? Okay.
Kinda. There.
Nope. Hey.
There. You're a little delayed there, sir.
Uh-oh.
I can hear you just fine though.
Let's see. I'm trying to fix it. Let's see what happens. I'm back. Am I back?
You're back on audio, which is what matters, I think. So.
Okay. Yep. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we're trying. Anyways, so with this phase lineup, phase 4 ends with Wakanda Forever, picks up right away with Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantum Mania, that comes in February 17th, 2023. Then you've got dated, but just know it's spring 2023, Secret Invasion. Then you've got coming up May 5th, 2023, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Then you've got a summer series, Echo, coming out. Then you've got also in the summer coming out Loki Season 2. And then you got the Marvels coming out July 20th, 2023. Then you jump over to Blade, which shocked the room because next year, and they said it is in production starting now. They are right now in production, Feige said, on Blade, which was a surprise to us all, November 3rd, 2023. Then you've got Ironheart coming out the fall of 2023. So Ironheart will probably be the last series of the year for 2023 for next year. I'll probably be like your Christmas holiday show.
Okay.
And then which makes sense after Black Panther, kind of end the year with that. So you've already got your backstory. I'm sure some of those characters will probably cross into the show from there. Maybe we'll get a Robert Downey Jr. in there. You never know. Then you get Agatha House of it's not called House of Harkness anymore. It was originally called Agatha House of Harkness. Now it's called Coven of Chaos. So that they changed the name on that. That is winter 2023, 2024. So more than likely it's going to be New Year's starting out. Kind of think like that. Then you get in the spring, the big surprise for us all. We knew that the story was coming, but we didn't know this much. Daredevil with Matthew Murdock, Vincent D'Onofrio, 18 episodes. That's 4.5 months of Daredevil coming in.
I did
Daredevil
not know that,
again. He said 18 episodes, 4.5 months. We will have every single week on Disney Plus. Daredevil Born Again with Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox back in their respective roles. Then you've got to end it. This is all happening within the first few minutes. We're sitting here just watching and just throw out titles.
They're having a heart attack, basically.
Yeah, you watch the video and just jump and what is going on? Then you've got Captain America: New World Order, which was leaked before in that title that was something they had registered trademark for May 3rd, 2024. But wait, we're not done, folks. We still got more to
But
come
wait,
through here. There's still more. Pulling up here. Pulling up here. Hold on. Hold on. I got it. I got it up. I want to make sure I have the exact things that we've got going on because I want to be accurate in my statements. But then the last thing we've got is we know that in November 4th, 2024, the end of 2024, you've got Fantastic Four coming out. And they're calling it Fantastic Four. They're not calling it the Four, just Fantastic Four. So
Fan Four Stick.
right. So they are sticking to that name, which is pretty awesome. The logo looks awesome. The logo we've all seen before. And later on in the panel, they ended up announcing King Dynasty, Avengers King Dynasty, which is going to be May 2025. Okay. And then you've got Avengers Secret Wars coming out November 2025.
Same year, dude.
So in the same year, you get two Avengers movies.
It's crazy, dude.
What are we? I feel like something's going to get moved. I just personally feel that way. Yeah. But if it doesn't, whew, y'all ain't ready for
DC. What are you doing? This is, dude. It's like the meme with the there's like do something poking with a stick, right?
Do something.
The heck,
up.
Bro.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, like next year, we would have gotten like the dark side stuff, right?
Right.
But
they
will pay the price for the lack of vision.
So I 100% agree. So with all of that, only things that dropped online was the She-Hulk trailer and the Wakanda Forever trailer.
Yep.
Everything else, which I didn't realize that. I feel I sometimes you forget how privileged you are to be at Comic-Con when you're there. I was gonna go on YouTube right after. No, we had. If you would have saw that, you probably would have thought, okay, they released some dates and they got two trailers. No, guys, we got to see the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer, full trailer. And when I say full trailer, I assume this was online because, dude, it looks completely done. Like when I say it looks done, it looks like something I would have sat in a movie theater and watched a trailer for. The full like approved for all audiences, like the whole like schmeal was set and done. It doesn't look like it needs to be edited. For Guardians, I could see where that needed to have some touch-ups. Still looks fantastic, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Peyton Reed comes out, brings out Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, new actress playing Cassie Lang, and we get a nice little trailer. Trailer shows, Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, Scott Lang reading a book that he wrote to children. It's hilarious. Like he's sitting around a bunch of kids. One kid's dressed as Ant-Man, and he's like talking about, how I saved the world or whatever.
That's funny.
And the kids are all cheering, whatever. And you end up finding out he gets a call that his daughter has been arrested. He's got to bail her out of the jail, just like how he was a thief, right? So she's kind of doing the same thing. And then you get where he's like sitting with her, like, you can't be doing this. And she's like, oh, you're not present in my life. And he basically is like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry I had to go save the world. And Hank and Hope are saying, they're like, oh, you only mention that every other day. You should write a book on it, like making fun of him, right?
I thought of someone, but I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
You probably know what I'm referring to. Okay.
I think I know. We'll talk about that one offline more.
Yeah. So, someone stole something. That's the only thing that I'm gonna say.
Oh, nice. So you talked about that. Shot changes off. You see that there's something that's going on, and like where they end up trying to reopen somehow accidentally reopen the quantum realm. Didn't fully, kind of happens fast in the trailer, but you see that Scott is holding on to Cassie, almost being sucked in, and then she lets go and she jumps right in, and he jumps in directly right behind her. He's like, I gotta get my kid. Jumps to them in the quantum realm. Scott's fully suited up as the Ant-Man, ready to go. Hank and Michelle Pfeiffer's Wasp is seen in the actual quantum realm as well. which was pretty interesting because there was rumors that Michelle Pfeiffer didn't want to have anything to really do with these
Really?
movies, and it's kind of
Okay.
honed in. So it's kind of cool to see her in it, and really, she
Interesting.
looked like she was fully committed.
Cool.
And just a bunch of beauty shots showing the quantum realm. And then you get to like the odd lands kind of thing where you see these really strange, different looking characters, different looking worlds, and that's where you get the MODOK shot where we actually saw MODOK and it was like a
Nice.
quick second, dude. And the guy next to me was like, "That's MODOK, that's MODOK." I'm like, "Yeah, that's got to be MODOK." Like you see him, but he looks a little different because to me, the best way I would describe him is you like the Avengers, not the Avengers. Oh, gosh, I'm saying the Transformers. Like
Okay.
you know how like Michael Bay's Transformers, like the way it's like metallic looking heads kind of thing.
Okay.
It kind of looked like a Transformer head, like a big Transformer head, kind of floating out. With the
That's a good way to do it and
It
not
looked
make
good.
it silly looking on
No.
live action. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's still gonna be funny, but it looked he looked cool. Like you
Okay.
would be a little scared of him how big they made him. And then you get the really epic thing at the end where Ant-Man confronts Kang, and Kang says to him, "Are you an Avenger?" And he's like, "Yes, I'm an Avenger." And he says something along the lines of, "Have I killed you before?" Uh, it was like you could feel the heat. End of trailer. I
Nice.
mean, great trailer. I think to me, outside of Wakanda Forever, and I think the Guardians trailer looked good. Don't get me wrong. We'll talk about that in a second. I think this one is actually my most anticipated one out of the next one because I've seen some from it and it looks so good. Like Ant-Man
Cool.
looks so good, dude.
Nice. Yes, that's good. That's good, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much to say on my end on She-Hulk. It looks good. Like
Yeah.
this last trailer looks funny. Fix the CG
Yes.
a little bit at least. So, no, yeah, it looks like it's well written. So I'm looking forward to it. Daredevil's in it. So Yep.
Spoilers, and he's wearing his yellow suit. He's wearing
It's a
the
little bit
yellow and
different,
black
yeah.
suit. So that is a little more homage to the OG suits you got going on there. I like that they're changing up. Maybe in the Born Again series, we'll see him in that suit. Maybe we'll see him in
Probably.
the custom red. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
Um,
Cool. Yeah, I mean, unless you have anything else, we can take a break and come back real quick, or
yeah, take a break and I'll come back and we'll talk about Guardians footage.
okay, we'll be right back, guys. And we're back. All right, Joel. Let's talk Guardians then.
Guardians of the Galaxy. You've got you've got the James Gunn run up on stage. He made it clear, this is my last one.
See being
This is
wrangled.
it.
See being wrangled, Joe.
I mean, I definitely think Kevin wanted to use this as a moment to, I don't want to say restore the relationship that they have,
Okay.
but show everybody that like we're good, we're going out on good terms, because it's no secret, right? The guy got fired and got rehired for this movie.
Yep.
And that was a big thing. So, James came out and said like it had been exactly like 9 years ago, 10 years ago or whatever, that he had the exact date it was when he was there at Comic-Con, when he first went to the Iron Man 3 set to meet with Kevin Feige to talk about Guardians. And that's the rest is obviously history. And Kevin came over and said it's been a good 6 years or a good decade, and gave him a hug in front of everybody on stage, which, kind of showing like we're good guys.
Yeah.
We're happy to have him back. So that was special. Brought out the cast on stage. Chris Pratt. They did not bring out Zoldana. They did not bring out Bautista. They brought Mantis.
Okay.
Our new Adam Warlock. Yeah, that was the main crew for there. Brought out into the audience the villain for this new movie, which is the High Evolutionary. Which was the weirdest thing, because like out of nowhere, like James is talking, it's like, everyone look out, the High Evolutionary's here, and he's just walking through the audience. He's like looking menacing and then starts smiling, whatever. Comes up, grabs the mic from James and says, I can't wait to dissect you all and like look into what makes you all tick and see what makes you all so special. And then they get kicked off stage. But it's kind of cool moment. You get then the actual trailer, which, dude, so emotional. This is gonna be a sad one. Like Ant-Man and the Wasp is gonna be a fun movie. Quantumania, we're gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
This is the one where you're gonna definitely get the feels. I think that's the common theme for most people. You see that it seems to be a story around the origin of Rocket, and you see Baby Rocket in the trailer, dude, the cutest thing, and the experimentation that's done to him. And the experience to other people, which is why the High Evolutionary, is probably that main character that really has that history of what he's transformed and done to these people and really hurt them and changed their lives. I mean, you remember that scene in Guardians 1 where Rocket says, like, you don't know what's like been taken apart and put back together over and over. It's emotional, hearing that, but I think we're going to actually see it. It's going to be sad. You also get, moments where the first time that Star-Lord sees Gamora again on a ship, and she's like, I don't know who you are, I don't know what you're talking about, but he's trying to basically fall in love with her again, like have her fall in love with him again. Kind of makes you think a little bit about what Spider-Man's going through with MJ, right? Where she doesn't know him, but she knows him. Like there's something there. You can tell in this that there's something there. A lot of good comedy around that, because like they're like sitting out in the middle of space, and like he's talking to her and like trying to explain to her like how he feels about her. And all the other characters are like, you do know we have headsets on, we can all hear you. And he's like, you guys heard me the whole time. And Drax is like, yes, like I wanted to puke in my helmet. And like, they're like, we were hoping it would just stop, like whatever. Just funny scenes. But Groot is jacked, dude. Like Groot is like not as big as we know him from the first, was like kind of older, you can tell like the character supposed to be. So he's definitely not like a kid, but he's like just
like
muscle
like prime
Groot. Prime Groot. And he looks like a tough dude, bro. So I think fans are gonna like that. I get a sense from this that Drax is probably gonna die, which would make sense considering that Bautista's not gonna be back.
Yeah, that kind of was teased when.
Yeah, I kind of got that sense, but not too much I can say except that it's going to be a really powerful, I think very emotional movie. And I think that's a good thing, because I feel like Guardians is fun. I like the movies, but I think it's good when you take characters that maybe you would only expect just to have your giggles and have that balance where you have the really funny stuff, and then you have the like, oh snap, like this is really heavy. If you can balance the two, I think it's going to make it a really great conclusion. And people started, booing when he said, "Oh, the last one." He said, and James said, "Don't worry. Just because it ends doesn't mean everyone has to die." And that's as he said there. So get the sense that there are certain characters that will definitely live around, and Marvel will use them in other projects, like how Guardians show up in Thor and other things. They'll be around.
Yeah, cool.
Outside of that, we got the King Dynasty Secret Wars announcements in between. We talked about that on the list coming out. King Dynasty already got leaked this week, which is weird. They didn't announce it during Comic-Con, but came after that. The director of Shang-Chi is coming to do King Dynasty movie. So that's pretty cool. We still don't know the director for Secret Wars. Maybe that's probably a negotiation.
James Cameron.
Oh my gosh. Right. If you can't beat him, join him. James comes over and it's like, I can beat my
Spielberg.
The only way to beat that box office record is to bring in James Cameron.
George Lucas coming back.
Oh my gosh. Mark Hamill's in this one. Harrison Ford's back. No, we'll see what happens with that. That was a really cool thing. To switch out of Marvel, unless you got anything else you want to say with Marvel.
No. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, like you said, like there's only a few things that we all got to see outside of Comic-Con. So that stuff I watched. So yeah.
Nice. So then the other thing I will say is a lot of people were losing their minds about Armored Wars, and they're like, it's not on the list. It's not on the list. That's not the only thing that wasn't on the list. There are other projects too that have been basically confirmed, like smaller things, like even the Halloween special, Marvel Halloween special that they said they're working on, and I got a list of a few other items that I saw that are supposed to also be coming out.
Yeah.
For the time that was not spoken of. You got Deadpool 3 wasn't talked about. The Nova series wasn't talked about. Mutants. Wonder Man, Shang-Chi 2, Mutants. Like there's a lot of things more than just Armored Wars. I don't think people need to be too worried, except that it's probably just been delayed or transformed into something new.
Yeah.
But I still think it's coming. I think it's a part of the plan. Just why rush it, right? They've got so much on the agenda, and that's what you and I were saying. Like you don't want it to be too fatigued and too much. Like let it breathe, put it out, and let these things be quality, not just quantity. You don't want to pull a Netflix. There's so much on there, but very few quality things on there. That's you don't want the MCU to become with Disney Plus.
Yeah, for sure.
Switching gears, some of the last things on Sunday, I got to go. I know this is kind of a funny one, but randomly decided to jump into the Funko panel. That was pretty cool because actor plays Shang-Chi showed up. Actor plays Johnny from Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid was there, and actress who plays Ahsoka in the live action Mandalorian Zero Dawson, she was there too. Actor plays Shang-Chi. Well, the reason I bring it up is because he said, guys, obviously you saw the stuff that was released yesterday. He's like, I'm definitely going to be in a few of those, and I'm also working on a project that I can't tell you guys what it is, but I can tell you that I'm as a video game character that is a kung fu fighter, and it's a pretty popular franchise, and that's all I can tell you that I'm working on, and that's it. So I don't know. You can watch the full thing of him saying it on our YouTube video. I uploaded that one very late. It's in the part 2 video of our Funko panel. So jump through and jump to his scene where he talks about it and explains it. Might be able to catch on. He said like, oh, I think I've ruined it. I think I've spoiled what I'm doing. Not what I'm supposed to tell you guys, but
it can't be a Street Fighter, Joe.
I mean, Kung Fu.
I mean, Ryu doesn't.
Gaming.
I mean, Ryu's not Kung Fu. Maybe he said Kung Fu just to throw people off, right? Or...
Maybe he said that to throw. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Yeah.
And there's like Mortal Kombat already has a Liu Kang, so he's not Liu Kang, right? And that got announced over the weekend, right? Or that Mortal Kombat's getting a sequel, so
right.
And there's like other fighting game that's popular. Streets of Rage, but there's no Asian guy in Streets of Rage. Right? At least not a Kung Fu guy, right? Mm-hmm. Unless he's like Shiva or something, right?
Yeah.
So, okay.
So think about it. Watch the
Question
clip
mark.
if you get a chance. Because
Don't
he
get me
straight up says
excited.
it.
Don't give me hope.
Oh, he's saying he's going to set to film it this year. So just couldn't
Okay.
reveal what it is because
Oh,
he said he's still working out the
so
contract. That's why he wasn't supposed to say. But
which possibly means that if it's Street Fighter, because there's supposed to be like another big Street Fighter announcement later on this year. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it makes sense, right?
I get, dude. I'm really excited now.
Yeah. You get pumped. There you go.
All right. Okay.
So that was a big one there. Gosh, there's so many things I can say about just the overall Comic-Con experience. Highly recommend for everyone to be there. Look forward to hopefully trying my best to get in next year. Thankful to everybody that was there, that I met out there. Really some really nice people I got to connect with. Thanks for everyone, the new followers. We're talking about new subscribers. There's so much more that we've got still to even post and put out there. So stick with us. Much more to come, man.
Yeah, definitely. There's no, I mean, the only other thing that I have here that I really wanted to talk about real quick is the drama surrounding the Knights of the Old Republic remake that's going out for PS5. Allegedly there's like major problems in the studio. Major problems.
Which is more like personnel problems, not necessarily game problems.
No, there's been like people gotten fired.
Yeah, like accusation things, right?
Yeah. So it's been paused indefinitely, basically. So I wasn't really that excited about it anyway, right? Like it's not my thing. Like, well, Star Wars my thing, right?
Yes.
But Knights of the Old Republic, I don't know, like I just don't. It just didn't click with me. I'm not saying
a remake might have. A remake
yeah, totally. I'm not saying that this like no. I'm not saying any of that. Right? Like it's just it doesn't click. It just didn't click back then. It just doesn't click right. So that's basically it. That's the only other bit of news that I had that I really wanted to touch upon. I don't know if you have anything else to add, but other than this, there's some GTA stuff, but we can talk about it next week. It's totally
absolutely fine. I will say though that if it's been delayed indefinitely, is there a chance, Obed, that this doesn't even come out at all? Because I feel like it's still. I have hope that it's still going to happen.
It's not canceled.
Because indefinitely is when they get scared. Because it's like I don't know when.
They'll probably just give it to another studio to finish.
Okay.
That's
a good prediction.
That's totally plausible scenario. So yeah. That's what we got. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Yeah, thank you again for your coverage, dude. It was pretty nuts. It's pretty wild. I sent you a GIF yesterday. I was like, "Are you even alive?"
I know. If you would have seen me yesterday versus today, I was definitely still jet lagged. But give me 48 hours, after that 9-hour flight plus 3-hour time change, and I'm back in it. I'm okay, guys. I'm still Joel Young. I'm still young enough to shake it off. But no, happy to do it. And I really want to encourage everyone, stay with us because this is just the beginning. We're taking this thing to the next level. We've got more stuff planned coming in the future. So thank you all. We want to encourage you to stay subscribed. If you aren't subscribed right now, there's a podcast version on podcast platforms of your choice, places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Store. SoundCloud, Amazon Music. We're on these podcast platforms of choice. So go ahead and subscribe to us. We also would encourage you if you could write a review about No Load Time on these podcast platforms. That just helps us as we're trying to spread the news. Like you guys just hitting the subscribe button, that just helps this now grow and spread the word to other people. It affects the algorithm. It's the same thing with you just writing a review. Those small details, it just gives us, the biggest level of support that most people don't recognize right away. So we just ask you to press those buttons, do what you can to help us if you would be so kind. And of course, we ask you to follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You could see down below, if you're watching on our video version, those social handles. Also, make sure that you are following us on our Twitch, which is where we live stream our episodes. No load time altogether on our Twitch. That is where we're at. Follow us there. Also, last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, we'd love to hear from you. So make sure that you follow and email us noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Thank you all so much, and we'll be with you on our next episode.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.